guys, so for this review it's going to be a little bit different. What I'm going to be doing is showing you some gameplay. We'll just briefly going over some of the stats of this tank. If you wish to see the full stats of it, you can always go in game and take a look, but I'm just going to go over some of the things that I feel are important or that are of interest. Alright, so let's get started. First off, hit points. As you can see, it has 1900, which is more than it used to be, and is now on par with the 50M hit point wise, so that's always helpful. Going on to the hull armor, we have 102 millimeters of frontal hull armor, 75 on the sides, and 45 in the rear. So the front, it only has 12 millimeters more than the T-44 has on its front, and that's a tier 8, and it has 18 millimeters less than the T-54. So if you get this tank and you're thinking, oh, I'll just play it like 54, OP tank, it's not quite like that. You have to play it a little bit more conservatively, so to speak, just because you can't bounce off the hull in the same manner in which you could bounce in the 54. However, its turret is quite formidable. You have a nice 240 millimeters of frontal armor on the turret, 161 on the side, and 65 in the rear. So, for the front, when a tank is shooting premium at the front of your turret, they will be able to pen the cheeks right around your gun. So to avoid that, getting penned like extremely easily, what you want to do is just kind of move back and forth. Never sit perfectly stationary for a long time if someone's aiming at your turret. If you just move it around just a little bit, even wiggle your gun if you want, stuff like that, that'll keep them from getting a clear shot at your turret. However, they may still pen it. Also, the cupolas on the top, they are a potential weakness, especially if you're fighting a tank like a Leopard or something with really good accuracy. They might be able to just pinpoint shots straight into there. However, it's not as bad as the 140's turret. Speaking of turrets, we're going to quickly go over the gun and the gun depression on the tank. So, I think you get -5 on this 62A, which isn't bad. However, you do get 1 degree more gun depression on the 140, which is definitely helpful in certain situations. I mean, you wouldn't really notice it just from playing on, brawling on the ground and such, but when you're trying to work hills, the 62A can definitely have its disadvantages. One of the main things was on the old Middleburg map, before they reworked it, a 62As that got the, I forget which spawn it is, but when they got the spawn that has that big camping hill in the back, they were kind of always at a disadvantage there, at least in my opinion. Alrighty, so moving on to the speed limit. It has a 50 kilometer speed limit, which is 5 less than the Object 140, however, it's not bad speed at all. The traverse and turret traverse are both superb. It has 56 degrees of chassis traverse, and it has 48 degrees of turret traverse. And the turret traverse on this is 8 more than on the 140. So if you're looking at CODing a tank, it is going to be a little bit better than the Object 140. And COD stands for Circle of Death, for anyone who didn't know that. Alright, so that's it. We don't need to go over the gun because everyone knows its gun is crap. Alright, just kidding. So the gun. It gets 9.7 rounds per minute, which is excellent. You can get that up to 10 if you properly equip this tank, and it has a 100% crew. Its average damage per shell for the heat and the APCR is 310, and for the HE is 420. So you can get some really good rolls if you're going against, for instance, an RU-251. You can easily kill that thing in no time, which is nice because in the NA server they did the +1 -1 matchmaking, but now that it's the +2 -2, you can now hit those nice tier 8 medium and light tanks, which are quite tasty for the HE. Okay, so penetration wise, the APCR has 264, not bad. The heat is 330, which is excellent. That's all you really need to go through pretty much the front of anything in this game. The high explosive only gets 50 millimeter penetration, so don't try taking down a Moss frontally with its HE. It's not going to be too effective. Alright, so now I'm just going to finish commentating for this game, as well as giving a few pointers about how to play this tank a little bit better. So, moving out on the flank right now, which brings me to the topic of hills and dunes. For this tank, working hills and dunes isn't really its strong point because it only has -5 degrees of gun depression compared to the -10 you would find on the 4202. However, using the strong turret to its advantage, which you really want to use, you definitely want to use a tank to its advantages, or to its strong points. Use the turret around the side of the corner dunes. If you do that, you can pretty much be hauled down and rely on your turret to bounce most of the shots, which is what the tank is pretty much meant for. So, have the flank on them. Taking the flank is actually an extremely important thing on this map, in my opinion, especially if you have the force to do it. So if they have less mediums than you, push through, take down their mediums, and then you can basically break up their team, focusing all their fire on the front. So now they're going to be worried about the rear getting taken as well. One other pointer about this tank is it is not a great side scraper, so I wouldn't recommend trying to side scrape against enemy tanks, especially with high caliber guns, or if you're low health, they could HE you, and you'd just be dead that way. Instead, if you're going like a 1v1 match, don't side scrape. Instead, try to, if you can, get away so then you're not spotted anymore, and come around from different angles and work the bushes to try to get a spot on them. And if you spot them, pop a shot at, move to a different location, and just use your speed and maneuverability of your tank to your advantage. Don't try to take hits. So like right here, it kind of is a calculated risk, wasn't a very good one. Could have saved a lot of health by just going all the way around. And it's good. Try to preserve your health, because in a situation like this, now you're getting in a brawl with a higher health same tank as you. You're going to be at an extreme disadvantage, except the fact we do have adrenaline, so if we need to pop it, we definitely can. But kind of getting wrecked, as you can see, not much to go haul down behind all them. Trying to go haul down as best as possible through that ramp. Bounce a heat shell there, most likely off the turret. Return fire through under the ramp. We take another hit, so now we're down to 3 health. And we have a damaged turret, but that shouldn't matter too much. Shooting through destructible cover, right there. And then one more shot, staying hull down continuously behind this, and boom, last shot. So that was a bit of a lucky win. Don't expect that to happen that often. We should have technically been dead, but yeah. Try to preserve your health. Right here, it's fine to pop over, take one shot, and go down. Definitely don't stay up there and take an excess of hits, especially now that we're down on 3 hit points. Right here, looking out, popping in a quick shot. Now, if you're certain they're not looking at you, it is okay to just put your corner around the side. If you know you're not going to take a single hit, take a shot, pull back. Sometimes setting up for a side scrape, it takes up a little bit too much time, and then you waste an opportunity to take a key shot that would have helped you a lot later in the game. Alrighty, so now we're just going back on the flank. So I'm doing it, like I said earlier, I'm not going to try to engage them in the town, which will be their strong point as their heavies and tank destroyers. So we're going to go out to the dunes and try to use some of the little berms in there as a hold down for us. So we're just going to, as they're capping, which makes it easier for me to just, boom, go through this. But yeah, we're going to be driving around to these dunes right here. Hopefully we can spot them through the bush. Now, there we go. Pop a shot, and we spot it back. That was not too surprising, but a little bit surprising. I was kind of thinking there wouldn't be a spot. I'm going to pop up, trying to just take out that T-62A, because right now, honestly, any HE from any of those tanks over there would kill me, regardless of if the splash was like right next to me or not. Alright, so took out the T-62A, which is the biggest risk, the biggest danger, in my opinion. Now we're just going to work on this IS-3D, which can easily take me out because of its auto loader. IS-3D is quite a good tank. And it's a little bit bouncy too, as you can see. My heat's having a little bit of trouble, but then again, I am having to be extremely careful with the shots that are being taken. Alrighty, so they're moving up to close to 80 cap points now, so we're just going to go around and really work for that reset, since I'd hate to lose the cap at this point. So we're moving a little bit closer again, trying to stay hull down, using the bush for as much camouflage as possible. Ooh, they're really getting up there, so it's going to have to be a clutch reset, and there we go. Alright, so we got it down to 40. And as you can see, this is a slightly better area to work the 62A. Don't have a ton of gun depression. If we did have a little bit more gun depression, we could push closer up to the actual peak of that berm, and then put more shots into them. But as you can see here, the IS-3D looks like he's eager to come kill me. And right now I'm just doing a little bit of a heat spam, kind of, you know, not paying attention, but you don't really need heat to pen the side of a Tiger 2, if you should know. Another great thing about this tank, its rate of fire at almost 10 rounds a minute makes it great for perma tracking. So as you can see, I hit him the first time, he repaired his track, comes up again, doesn't have a repair kit this time, so now he's just having to rely on it repairing naturally without any sort of repair kits, so we're able to keep him perma tracked. Again, moving back and forth so he can't splash with AG, getting the final shot in, quickly having to try to go around this berm so the Tiger can get us. He does not have the gun depression, so he cannot connect a shot. He's going to move around to the side, put a shot into the top of his turret, and the side of his tank would have been a more reliable shot, but because of the circumstances, just had to go for the cupola. And again, the cupola there for the kill shot, and that was a pretty clutch game. Not a huge amount of damage, but the situation was a little bit crazy considering only 3 hit points left. Alright guys, and that concludes this video. If you have any comments about anything I can do to improve tank reviews in the future, please leave it down in the comments below. If you liked the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, feel free to give it a thumbs up anyway. And stay tuned, since we should have more content coming out relatively soon. Peace.